Okay, this is the function we have at the moment from the factory setting. Now it's nice and slow, you know, and that's more than acceptable. Now, what I would discourage people in doing is thinking, oh, I wonder what it's like on the next setting, or I wonder what it's like one setting weaker. If it's acceptable the way it is, don't muck around with the speed setting, because it's not. We haven't designed it to be an option for the different speeds. We've designed it to be a solution to be able to fix specific problems, whether it's high wind or whether the panel's out of square or what have you, or after the product's been through 50,000 life cycles, it can be tensioned up, you know. But it's not something just to retension just for the sheer hell of it, to see how it goes. You know, if it's working well, don't touch it. But we'll show you how to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to adjust the speed of the top hinge, okay, on the glass to wall. Now, the glass to wall is a little bit different to the glass to glass. The glass to glass, we can access the grub screw that holds the cap in position without moving the glass. Okay, now there's two ways we can do this. We can actually open the door to about 45 degrees and access the grub screw, and then use an Allen key into the top of the cap and then move it to the next setting. Or, which I would prefer, it might seem like it takes a little bit longer, but it's easier to do. But what we're going to do is just take the plates off, take the gate off briefly, retension the top hinge, then set it back on. Okay, we'll show you how we do that now. Okay, it seems like it'd be painful, but realistically, it's more than likely minutes. Okay, this particular hinge is one of our original hinges of the 120 series, where we only had a groove in the top for a screwdriver. Our latest versions have the groove and an Allen key head, but we'll show you how to do it with just a screwdriver. So we want to go from this weakest setting up to the middle setting. Okay, so I take a little tension off that screw. Francis brings it out. I move it up to the next setting. We do it up. Okay, it's in the next setting, so it's easy to do. Now, just take that off, mate.
Yeah, you're in here. Bit up. Yeah. Okay. You alright?
Mm-hmm. Top one first.
Mm-hmm.
Just get one screw in. Hold it in position. Okay, so now we put it to the next setting. We're going to put the plates on. So we need to put the anti-seize grease on the screws. one that comes in the pack. Okay, we want to put it on the thread and the back of the countersink. Now, like our previous videos, stainless steel screws on stainless steel has a tendency to bind. Okay, so while you're doing these up, sometimes it'll grab. That doesn't mean it's tight. So what you need to do is you need to work through those points. Because if you don't work through it, you'll think it's tight, you'll walk away, you'll leave it, the sun will expand the metal and move it around, this and that, before you know it, the whole hinge is loose because you thought it was tight, but it's not. Okay, we've just adjusted to the next setting. The top hinge is on the medium setting. Francis will open and close that door for us. So that's in the fully open position. It's coming back considerably quicker. But it's still a nice speed. You know, it's probably a situation where that spring is under a little bit more tension when we put it to the next setting up. So if you're in a situation where it's frequently windy or it's you know, you need to make adjustments for local weather conditions or wind conditions. You know, then there's the option of having the different tensions. But typically, you will find that the factory setting is more than adequate, and you know, if it looks good and functions well, that's where it needs to be. You know, don't muck around too much with the settings, because you know you could have 6 different settings and they all seem adequate. But you know, if you start with if the factory setting works well, that's the one you should be using. You know, save your time. You don't have to muck around, and you know, that's what we put a lot of work into, trying to work out which is the best setting and which is going to work on most scenarios. So the factory setting is more often than not the one that will work well.